Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you, Diane?
Oh, great. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to do a podcast with me here
Thank you for
today.
having me.
And just want to, I found out, I found you on Facebook and found out that you're here in the Atlanta area. And initially, when I connected with you, I did not know that. So I think it was great. And I definitely look to work with you in the future. So, Pat, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you do? And we'll take it from there.
Yes. So I'm originally from Laos. That's why my podcast is called Living Out Loud. Like I put
Okay.
that Lao on there because we're Laotian. And so I'm a small business owner. I've had multiple business, all right. A salon, a restaurant, nutrition store, I think a window cleaning business and a little bit of it. I think I've tried a lot of different things. In the meantime, I've always in the meantime I've always done real estate on the side, and I like real estate, so I've always done that part time. And then this past year, I finally pivoted into doing real estate full time. Um,
Really?
and yes, so it's fix and flips, and I'm learning so much information. So we still have our other small business that we still run, but definitely real estate has been something we've pivoted to do full time.
Okay. Okay. So, when did you join Sub2?
I joined in May.
Okay. What made you decide to join the Sub2 program? What was your
You
deciding
know,
factor?
it was more of just going down the rabbit hole. This is what I call it. It's going down the rabbit hole of it's. I wanted to, and I wasn't sure what direction I was going to head to. And I think because I was already doing fix and flips, I needed to. I realized that. So when we started out our real estate, we were buying one property a year, right, for the past 10 years. So one property a year is a very slow way to build growth. And I think that once we found out about creative financing, it was the way to kind of speed up the process a bit. So I think that's how I found this community.
Okay. All right then. So you're from Laos,
Yes.
and so you're now here in the Atlanta area. What made you decide to come to Atlanta? What was it?
So I'm an immigrant. I'm a war immigrant from the Vietnam War. So
Okay.
it's not a decision. I think it was where the sponsorship is. And since we had the sponsorship here, we pretty much got off the air. I'm gonna move rooms for a second. We pretty much got off the airplane, the airport, and went across the street, and we got stayed in those apartments right across the street from the Atlanta airport, and we've been here ever since.
Oh wow, wow, wow. That's great. You know, Pat, I love your entrepreneurial spirit. You've obviously you like to work for yourself and have tried different ventures. And I think when you work for yourself, it creates a level of independence, and you're
Yes.
always looking for different sources of income.
Yeah.
So you said you've done fix and flips. What has that journey been like?
So it's it's to me it's been very interesting. It's been fun. I think it's funny that you asked that because I think fix and flips for me is more of a hobby than it is a business or work. So I enjoy creating things. I'm a very creative person, so I enjoy kind of putting things together, and those HGTV shows that you kind of watch and how people
Yeah.
kind of create things. I enjoy it. I enjoy putting together an Airbnb, house or just building things. I think I see it more from the creative side. And
Mhm.
now that I'm going more full time, I'm doing it more from a business side. So kind of putting those two together, I think has been a great journey for me. So especially now that I'm doing it full time as a business. And I told you just earlier that we've pivoted to do it full time. Doing it part time and already running your business is one thing, but doing it full time is a totally different aspect of the business. Because the way I see it, if I've already ran some successful business, if I would just stick with real estate and do real estate as a business full time, what is the outcome of that? How can that look like? So that's a journey that I'm still in the process of working and doing, but I'm
Mhm.
super excited the fact that I made that move.
Mhm. So how long have you been full time for?
For this year, for the year.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay, that's great. So I guess that's why you decided to join Sub to allow you to acquire more properties in the creative way
yes,
and thereby increase your business. And I think that's where a lot of us are trying to get. We're trying to get into the full-time real
yeah.
estate way, and hopefully we will all get there.
It,
So, what are
it's
your
hard.
goals?
It's not
It,
easy. Yeah,
it is very hard. There are definitely in the real estate a lot of moving pieces. I
yes,
certainly have found that out as I have ventured into it.
yes,
I'm definitely a process person, so I'm
yeah.
trying to develop my processes as I'm uh, embarking on this real estate
Yeah.
journey.
Can,
And
can I say something about that? I just want to say because I think people don't realize it, but I think it was said before. It's the when you do this kind of business, the tangibility of it, it's like if you go work and you work in, let's say for whether it's an hourly or a salary, right? You work and you get paid for it. So if you go, let's just say for example, if you were building let's say for example a house, right? If you're building a house, it's tangible. Like you physically put your hand on something, you touch it, and by the end of the day you see the start and you see the finish, and then you see results there. I think in what we're doing in real estate now, and it's, you put in the work and you really will not see that progress until down the road. So it's like you can go to work every day. You can make those phone calls. You can make those connections. You can look at those deals, but you're not going to see it right away. And sometimes I think from the mindset standpoint, people lose that track, right? You're like, okay, I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this for a year. I'm not seeing the results from it. And I think that is very, very important because people always give up before they even get to the finish line. In this industry, what I've realized is that, and obviously, fix and flip is one thing, it is tangible, but it takes a bit longer. It's not one of those things that, unless you are experienced, you have a full team, you can probably crank it out in 3 months. But for the most part, it's 3 to 6 months, depending on how long you finish it, how long you sell it, and the process of it. But outside of that, there's so many other angles and avenues that I'm also doing in real estate that I've learned, whether that's wholesaling, whether that's, partnering up with someone. But the process and the time, it is, at times it gets very discouraging. At times it gets very hard, where you're like, what is the results that I'm doing? 6 months down the road, you're like, where's the results? I don't see it. Where's it getting to? So I just want to say that it's, and what we do is processes, and it's networking, it's getting with people. And I think that, some people get lucky, like even with my small business, like you can open the doors and you can start that business and you can take off right away, or you can take months, or you can take years. And I think
wow.
the most important part is that keep the process and keep doing what we're doing, and eventually it's gonna break free, it's gonna break open. And when we do, you might see a little bit here and a little bit there, and then all of a sudden it's gonna just shoot up. And if we keep doing it, it's there. I think that my mindset from a small business standpoint, when I first started, as any small business that I started there, I think the first thing I want to say is, like me and my partner, we said failure is not an option, and
Right.
we don't have no other option. This is our only option. So we're gonna keep digging. We're gonna keep working until we either do it, but we're not gonna fail because we're not gonna stop. So I just wanted to kind of let you, give
Well,
you that.
I
Yeah.
think why, and I think that's a great point to make, especially if you're focusing on real estate full time.
Yes.
And I think by being a part of the Sub Two community and learning about the different meetings, there are many different avenues for you
Yes.
to make an income. So if you purchased a house or you're doing a fix and flip, that may take 4, 5, 6 months to
Yes.
come to fruition. But in the meantime, you need to have another avenue within the real estate arena that's going to bring in some form of income to assist you as you finish up a project on the fix and flip from start to finish, from acquiring
That's
the
right.
property, the sale, the construction, and then the sale of it. That all takes a period of time. So
Yes.
it's important to develop other sources of income within the real estate arena to help you along. And then when you finish that fix and flip, it's really just a bonus.
Yes,
You
which I
know?
didn't even know the other avenues, right? Which is amazing. It's just like
Yes,
I didn't know that you say when you say real estate, there's like 10 different, you know, angles that you could take in real estate, which is
that's
deep,
right.
which is amazing. You know, I thought it was buyers, sellers, realtors and mortgage, and that was it. But it's been amazing. Yes.
It really has. It really has. So within the next 1 to 2 years within the real estate business, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourselves? What are your goals?
So, someone had asked me this before. I think, someone said if you were, you know, if money was endless, what would you do, right? And would you do anything, and maybe I should take my goals higher, but I think that I would be doing the same thing that I'm doing now, maybe more of it and maybe more travel, right?
Mhm.
But I think where I see myself is to do more deals, to do more flips, and to help people. I think at the end of the day, um, I'm 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 a little bit more mature now, right? I'm a little bit older, and then I've got family, I've got kids. So I think what I've learned and my goal would be to keep continuing what I'm doing, obviously more of it, to do more deals, but to also help more people. I think that what goes around comes around. I think what you put out to the universe, you bring back. And I think I'm learning to be less selfish as I'm getting older and say, okay, it's the other part that I think I've learned is that putting in the work, it doesn't stop, right? Depending on what stage you're in, you always put in the work. I can be, towards the end of my journey, I would still need to put in the work. So
Mhm.
I think to answer your question, I think I would still be doing what I'm doing now, but I would say more of it.
Mhm. So you're doing real estate investing full time. Are you still going to continue with your businesses, or do you have someone that's running that for you?
So I have a team, and I have partnerships. So
Okay.
they are my teams and my partners are keeping that business going. And then um, I think what I've learned with that is from my earlier stage is how to leverage um, our time and our experience. I
Mhm.
think that's what I've learned, right? So I think there's like a leverage that I think at the beginning you're on the top of the leverage and you're working and you're trying to do as much as you can. And then as you learn and you gain experience and value, I think you kind of move towards the middle of that leverage. And then from there, it's like how did they say it? Like the input and output, right?
Right.
So with when you're in the tip of that leverage, you have to put in more um input to get more output. So it's a lot more work. But as you kind of get towards the leverage part where you can pull leverage and it's going to give you more output, I think that comes with time and experience and what you can offer. So with that, I think my small business that I've been running for a while, I think I've gained enough experience in that leverage where I can put at least a smaller amount of input, but I can get more output out of it. And I think that's just basically through experience and the knowledge that I've learned by running the small business for so many years. Yes.
Yeah, I think what I've learned along my journey too is about delegation.
Yes.
You can't do this all on your own,
Yes.
and being a business person, especially when you're starting out, you tend to think that you can, but then you realize that no, you cannot.
Exactly. Exactly.
Too much
Yes.
stress, not enough time,
Yes.
and you have to allow and trust people to work with you and really have confidence that they will do the right thing. So
Exactly. Exactly.
and I'm
And
sure
then it's
learn that.
that, what do we say, superpower, right? Like
Yeah,
stick with what you're good at and then the other things that you're not, maybe that's something that someone else can do. And I think
yeah,
that's my mistake earlier. It's like I try to do
yeah,
everything. And especially the stuff that I hated doing. Like I am not organized office person. Like I can't, I'm not that person, I can go out there, I can do so many things. Don't put me in an office. Don't let me do Don't let me do the numbers. Don't let me do the paperwork, the spreadsheet, keep up with the bills. I can't, because it's going to be a mess no matter how hard I try.
Oh,
And it would take me triple the time to organize and do those things than I am to go out there and find other business or to do other things. So that's what I've learned.
oh, okay then. All right then. So what do you consider your, so you talk about superpower. What do you consider your superpower?
Well, I'm still working on it. But
Really?
I think visionary, and I think I'm good at building a team, and I'm good with people. So I'm not exactly sure where that's going to end, but I think that I see value in people and I see value in things. And I think I'm good at creating things. So I guess that's the visionary part.
Okay. All right then. Well, that sounds wonderful. Well, Pat, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. So happy that you're here in the Atlanta area, just like myself.
Thank you.
And you said that you have meetings.
Yes.
I hope to come to some of your meetings.
Yes, we get to meet in person.
Absolutely,
Yes.
to meet in person. Like I said, it was wonderful that I chose you online, and you're right here in Atlanta. So
The universe chose us. You didn't even know I was in Atlanta.
the universe definitely
Yeah.
chose us. It was a pleasant surprise, and you just don't know where this journey will take us. Hopefully, we'll all grow together.
Yes. Well, thank you, Diane. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
All
day.
right. All right. Bye.